Hey guys, so today I would like to do the second half of the LEGO Ideas 21322 set, the Pirates of Barracuda Bay. In the last video I reviewed this, the Shipwrecked Island, and today I will be reviewing the boat model. So before I show you the boat, I want to show you how the boat clicks together. There are two Technic pieces on the main part that connect here to the aft castle, and then they're sort of locked in place here and here on both sides with these 1x4 um, plates. And the front castle, the forecastle, is linked with these two ball and socket joints here, and then held on top with these 2x2 plates. But once you connect it together, you will no longer have access to the inside. The inside is exactly the same as the shipwreck build. So we have the cabin or the inn here, which sort of fits since the front could be a brig or jail, which you see here with a privy or toilet and a bucket, which maybe is also privy or toilet, or I don't know, maybe that's for the food. And that can be sealed with the inn door. And in the back we have, again, the kitchen. So this wall here is built, you can see the clip there that's holding that wall in, because otherwise it's not attached with studs. And that was the other door on the Shipwrecked Island once you take this off. So this would have been an extra piece in the Shipwrecked Island, although not from the final bag, bag 15, which is used to build the ship. Okay, so all you need to do is connect those together here and on the other side. And that will connect this part pretty well. Then we connect those ball and socket joints in the front. And then put these plates down. Okay, so what I also want to cover in this review was the question I posed last time, which is, which set did LEGO put priority on? Did they put priority on building a ship or building a shipwrecked island? And for that, I think now I have a pretty clear answer. And the answer is that they did a shipwrecked island. And let me answer that in three parts. So first part is extra pieces. Normally for a creator, like 3-in-1 sets, you can say that the best model is the model that usually has the most pieces used. And in this set, I wouldn't say it's a large exception. What we have is a beautiful boat, but we also have a lot of extra pieces. As I move that boat over, this is the Shipwrecked Island without the boat. Own a boat. And you can see the island looks okay. This is the setup that it was in. This is the forecastle, the aft castle, and the midsection. But it is rather sparse. And we also have all these extra pieces, which are taken off of the boat for the building of the main island, for the building of the boat. And these two. Okay, and while we're talking about extra pieces, I didn't mention it in the last video. These are the extra pieces from the regular build. I like to note which extra pieces come with the set. We do get extra rigging, even once the ship is all built. Extra mustache, a few extra swords. Not a lot of guns in this set. And then also, while we're mentioning pieces, I didn't mention the printed pieces from the last build. We have 2 envelopes, one in a sort of yellowed paper, one in white paper. We have 2 printed small pieces. One is a compass, one is cooking. I don't want to call it a cookie in this case because it seems to be cooked on a stove. And these have 1 extra of each. And we have the pirate map, which is very similar to the 1989 pirate map. 1989 Lego Pirates pirate map. And then we also have this really nice painting, I guess, of a boat at night. So these are the printed pieces, aside from, of course, the minifigures. Oh, I'm sorry, I almost forgot Josie's Inn sign, which is a nice sign. Okay, and now for the second reason out of 3 as to why the Shipwrecked Island was really the main build is the playability. So I already mentioned, but there's no access below deck once you build the ship. You can try to access from here, maybe get a little wire or something or string and pull it up. It's held down only with 4 studs, but it's not really easy to pull up otherwise. You can't use a piece puller. There's nowhere to really grab onto. You can't also access it through here because these are windows, which is the other point of this, is that all of the extra pieces, all of the cannons are actually not considered for the boat. So when these pirates finally decided, oh, we actually can rebuild our boat, they decided to leave the cannons behind, even though they took 5 cannonballs with them. So the playability of this boat is rather low, since you have no access to the kitchen, the inn, or the sleeping quarters, or the brig. The only thing you have some access, and I would also call that rather limited access, is here in the captain's chamber. You have access here, but it's also rather limited access. You can't open up any of the sides. You could open up the windows and the door, but that's not going to increase your access exceptionally. I did take the map out. The map does go there. So you don't have great access when playing with the boat. This is the other large problem with the boat, is the playability. The sails are great. You have 6 sails. The original Black Seas Barracuda only had 5. It didn't have this rear spanker sail. But it's a beautiful model, but again, it is not meant really to be a playable model. Whereas the Shipwreck Island, everything was accessible. Even as I pointed out in the last video, there's stair access to everywhere as well, which is quite considerate for a Lego design. So in my opinion, they really built a Shipwreck Island playable model, a beautiful one, or a beautiful model ship that's not quite playable. So they really built the Shipwreck Island with this ship model in mind. And I agree with the Lego creators who wrote that you really can't have pirates without a boat. So I think they did the right thing. You know, they could have spent a lot longer trying to make the boat model more playable, but at what cost? What would be the trade-off? More money, more pieces, a heavier boat, because this is already a very, very heavy boat. And as you saw, I already broke some pieces just trying to lift it up correctly. It's very heavy, but it is very beautiful, very well designed. I love the gun deck, the design of it. They have ladders here, and you have these pieces which are actually only held on with 1 stud, so not so well, but good enough. And they give the right feeling. And the color scheme is very classic pirates. So compared to Black Seas Barracuda, which again I do not own, but my brother had, so I going off my memory and this picture here, we can see this one used a little bit more yellow. Also, the gun deck here, it's not as tall because it's an open deck boat. It didn't have a deck covering like this boat or the Imperial flagship from a few years ago. And also the walls here are straight up, whereas the walls here are more like a real battleship, are angled in. So, and this one also has 5 sails, not 6, like we have here. So this is actually a overall better Black Seas Barracuda than the original. But my final point number 3 for why this was a shipwrecked island is because we have all these extra pieces, going back to reason number 1, we have all these extra pieces, but actually they didn't decide to do anything with these. They just say, hey, take these off and build a boat. And yeah, I'm sure we could figure out a way to turn these into a nice island. But in fact, what I plan to do is something different. These are a bit like the masts, and I prefer 3-masted ships over 2-masted, so I plan to use some of these pieces to create a 3rd mast, probably on the aft castle here, probably where the steering wheel is, and make this a nice 3-masted ship with probably a galleon with a triangle sail on the back, followed by a square sail on top of that. And maybe try to have a little bit more access to the deck, as well as take out these windows, try to have cannons or cannon spots, at least, since it only came with 3 cannons. Maybe see if I can make the rear captain's quarter a bit more accessible. Overall, I love the shape here, and I do like the rear windows. I'll try to keep those. But I plan to keep the boat. As I said, I also can't imagine pirates without boats, and I do not have the original Black Seas Barracuda, so this will be mine, my Black Seas Barracuda. I'm going to try to add a bit more yellow. Maybe a second jib as well, and try to have three square sails on the front mast, on the main mast, and on the mizzen maybe even 4. It looks like I could squeeze one down there. And just as a small preview and comparison, this is the Pirate Creator set, also released in 2020. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly the number right now. And without adding extra pieces, this is just paper, but I've designed in more sails. This one has 9 sails right now, 3, 1 spanker, 1 jib, and then a bowsprit sail. And I'm still working on the colors. These are just designs. But you can see here a size comparison. It's much, much smaller than the Black Seas Barracuda version 2. But it's also, yeah, I like having more sails. So this is probably what I'm going to try to do a bit to the Black Seas Barracuda. Anyway, I'm sorry for another long video, but again, it's a very large set and quite beautiful. I'm very glad to have it in my collection, and I think overall LEGO has done a really good job with the design. Both the Shipwrecked Island and the ship. So if you like LEGO classic pirates, this is really a good buy. And again, it's half. Currently, it's around $200. It should be produced until the end of 2020, 2021, sorry. But it's around half the price that a used Black Seas Barracuda is going for. All right, thank you guys for watching.